so incredibly clear. You can imagine rafting down here in the spring. We'll have to come back. And welcome to Porto Montenegro, where we've had a busy couple of weeks.
Yeah, and we've had just about every sort of weather as well. We've been out sailing in the sunshine, we've been skiing in powder snow, and they've had a lot of wind down here. Luckily we missed that, we were away when that happened.
Yeah, they took a bit of a bashing, but fortunately everyone is now safe and sound. I hope you like the film. Coming up, skiing the powder after a week of amazing snowfall in the mountains. Driving over the Tara River Canyon, 150 metres over icy cold water. And winter sailing in Kotor Bay. We can't resist that offshore breeze. Perfect wind, a little chilly, but a good sunny day for a sail. We have visitors on Fair Isle. My brother Nick and his wife Chris have stopped off during their road trip through Europe. This is their first time sailing in Montenegro, and Steve is loving the chance to have crew.
Right, so at the moment you can see we've got the wind, it looks like it's from the aft quarter. See where it's coming from, looks like it's back here. But
I told you that.
But that's the apparent wind. So the true wind, because we're moving forward, is slightly forward of that. So it's pretty much on the beam. But by the time we've turned, it's going to be behind us.
Yep.
So what we're going to worry about when that happens is that at the moment we've got the sail over on the port side, which is the starboard tack, confusingly. As we come round through the wind with the wind behind us, that sail's going to come over to the other side. So that's a jibe. So when that happens, we need to control it. We don't want the boom coming a long way and going bang. So we're going to control it with the sheets, which is behind you there.
With just 10 knots of wind, it should be simple.
We'll give it a go, and if we capsize, what the hell, eh?
Okay, Nick, how about you pull the sheets on the staysail?
Is it flapping?
It's not flapping.
That's way to it flaps.
Jibe ho! Easy.
So now the wind's got up, we've moved a load more in that direction.
Yeah, on the gusts. It's called weather helm.
Right.
So and boats are set up like that so that they turn towards the wind, because it's safer to do that, because you're depowering the boat.
Yeah.
If they come away and you've got lee helm, then they tend to heel over more. So they'd always be like that.
All right.
We won't want that much weather helm. We've got it because we haven't got the Yankee up. Because we haven't got a Yankee.
Yeah.
So the sails are out of balance.
Okay.
It's on its way. The Yankee is indeed on its way. Meanwhile, we're sailing on just the main and the staysail. Plenty of power on this trip, and it means we can stay warm inside the covered cockpit. We are sailing from Porto Montenegro to the island of Sveti Marko, which used to be a holiday resort. The place is now deserted, but behind the island there's a quiet, protected anchorage. A good place to test our new waterproof drone.
We teased you with this last time. This is the egg ready for flying in its waterproof casing. Let's see how she goes. Give it a first fly. I'll just drop her on the water and take off.
We've lost several drones to the water over the years. With this one, a perfect landing. We also try out the Power Dolphin, which could do with some clearer water to get the best pictures. But hey, it looks good over the water. Enough playing now, time to go ashore. We expected to be the only ones here at this time of year, but we didn't know what we would find when we reached the deserted island. Before the war here in 1991, Sveti Marko was bustling with 500 chalets, beaches and water sports. It was particularly popular with young people, a safe hideaway in an island forest. Well, it's certainly a beautiful island for a holiday resort. You don't get a much better view than that. Absolutely stunning. Unfortunately now, all this wash up and rubbish and abandoned buildings. And you can't help thinking, someone must come along and make it beautiful again. Such a waste. Most of the buildings have been completely destroyed and then just left. Piles of rubble and plastic bottles. Through the undergrowth you can still just about see some of the wooden chalets built on stilts. This is a ghost island, a reminder of a painful period in the history of Montenegro. Some steps appear to be leading to a viewpoint. So you wonder what the steps are for, and it's just to put the flag up. Flagpole. Nothing else up here. Go back down again. And back to the boat where the snow on the mountains looks enticing. 2.5 hours by car from Porto Montenegro and you reach Kolashin, a pretty town with a ski resort. The drive is spectacular and there is snow at last. It's come late in the season, but there is plenty of it. The sun is shining when we reach the resort and families are playing at the bottom. But amazingly, the slopes are empty. Next day, there's been another foot or so of wonderful powder.
That's what you want for a ski holiday, isn't it?
It certainly is. 8 o'clock in the morning and we're ready.
Yeah, better run that for a bit.
Yeah.
So it is a bit of a drive up to the ski area. It takes about 10 minutes usually, might take a little bit more today. This is the villa that actually is owned by the marina and you can come here for free, which is quite a nice perk really.
I think the windscreen wipers could do the rest. It's really light snow. It's going to be fantastic. It is still snowing when we get to the slopes and we meet up with some friends, skiers and snowboarders. Don't you just love borders? If anything, the snow is even better than the day before, and we have a blast. The mountains are also a good place to go hiking, which is just as well when the weather becomes too blustery, even for us.
We had to give up skiing today because it was very windy up there, and in fact back in Porto Montenegro it's been the windiest it's been for about 20 years apparently, so a big thanks to Tim who's been rescuing our boat. This is what it looked like getting a little bit close to the harbour wall.
In fact, Tim put an extra line to shore for us and added a fender to the bowsprit in anticipation of the katabatic winds overnight. When they came, our fellow sailors were recording gusts of up to 97 miles an hour. Luckily, everyone stayed safe.
We've just come into some shelter of some trees. We've got a river in the way. Can we get across?
No, I'm making myself a path.
There's some stepping stones in.
Yeah.
It's too cold to get wet feet.
No, it really is.
Go on, you can do it.
I got wet. These are waterproof boots, fortunately.
It's a pretty deep gorge.
Is it?
Yeah, I can hardly see it. It's so far down there now.
Oh wow. I'm pretty covered.
Yeah.
There is a stream there somewhere, and in the spring, this place will be quite pretty.
So as we were walking up, I was wondering how they survive with this. They've got their pipework all the way along here, exposed. Obviously it goes down -20 here at night. How on earth that can work? But it's not mains water. You can see back there, you can see these are the pipes. They just go to the stream, dip in the stream. It's just gonna keep siphoning through. So I reckon all they do is just keep it flowing. It must be just the flow of water going through it full time. Stops it from freezing.
The water isn't freezing, but we are. Time to get back into the warm. Our trip to Kalashin has taken us to one end of the Dermitor National Park, so we decide to take the scenic route home and drive through it. It is spectacular. This is the Tara River Canyon, one of the biggest in Europe. The snow and icicles hanging from the rocks give it an eerie feeling, but in the summer, this is a top place for adventure holidays. It's so incredibly clear. You can imagine rafting down here in the spring. We'll have to come back. The river is 36 miles long and the bridge over it is 150 metres high. But mere facts do not do this place justice. It is mystical, Magical. And again we have the place to ourselves. Back home on the boat we have a problem. Fair Isle is fine, but one of the slime lines has got caught around the prop. So Steve is going in.
So I'm just going to put 3 in, see what that does. Hopefully it'll be alright.
Very colourful.
Yeah, that's quite neat, isn't it?
Are they different colours, different weights?
No, that's what I thought, but they're not. They're all the same weight.
They're all the same.
It's just there to look cool.
It does quite a lot for your figure, Steve.
Cinch the waist in.
Yes, there you go.
Doesn't he look good?
He looks great.
Yeah, see, we have an audience.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, it's not great. The water is freezing, but luckily it doesn't take long to set us free. Not the time of year to be diving, even with a wetsuit. And to add to our woes, our Webasto heating inside Fair Isle is still broken.
Following on from the saga of our Webasto heater here, it's the heater for our boat, died a couple of weeks ago. I've had some help from Butler Technique, so thanks David for that. He'd had a look at the video that we posted before. I'd changed the nozzle, changed the electrodes, which are the main thing I think that would go wrong, but that didn't fix anything. It doesn't seem to be wanting to spark. So the next thing he thought of was something that's in here, which is a melt fuse. Now that doesn't really appear on the manual that I've got, but there it is, and I've put the tester across it. There's no resistance there. It should act like a normal fuse, and if it's gone there'd be, you know, infinite resistance across it, so that seems okay. Everything else seems okay. So now we're going to check the fuel. So what I've got down here is the outlets, because obviously it acts like a normal diesel with an in and an out. It flows through, so I've got the outlet going into the can here, and we'll start it up and we should see the flow come nicely through there. I think you see that it was okay because I've got a little bit of fuel in the new filter here, so I was just assuming that as that's happened it's pulled in fuel, but not necessarily so. So we'll check this one as well and might be a little bit closer to know what it is. So yeah, we've got some flow. Looks all right. Let's see if it actually starts. Give it the tick, tick, tick. I imagine that's the amount of flow you should have. I'm not really sure now. And it's just stopped. That's a bit disappointing.
Meanwhile, we do have our electric heaters, so all is not lost. And drum roll, please. We also have some really good news.
Well, today is a very exciting day because we've had a delivery in. Here it is. This is our new Yankee from Precision. Look at that, lovely triple stitching. Absolutely brilliant. They got it in here, no problem at all, which is great. It's one of the reasons we went with Precision. They're very good at getting deliveries done all around the world because it's what they do. And things can be a little bit tricky here, although they've got a system that can work quite well sometimes for large items. In that normally when things come in and out, it has to go through customs, and if you've ever experienced that, sometimes it can have to wait for months for things to come through. Things can get held up, and you get odd charges and all sorts of things. I mean, a couple of seasons ago in Venice, if you saw those, we waited several months for an outboard engine to come through. It's very frustrating. But here, if you've got stuff for the boat, you can put it through as a boat in transit, and it bypasses all that. It does have to be checked by customs, but you just pay a set fee of 170 euros. So actually makes good financial sense as well. For an expensive item like this, you just pay 170 euros here in Porto Montenegro, and it comes straight through. It's absolutely brilliant. But there is one problem that we found with that, because it's not just this that we had through. If you've been watching the other episodes, all that wire back there is for our re-rig, and out here on deck I've got the new foils from Selden that are going to be fitted when we do the whole re-rig, and they were brought over by Judy's brother in his car, which is fine because you can get to the border here, and the yacht assist here are very good with that. They'll ring up and say, yeah, it's for a yacht in transit, and explain it, and it'll come through. So that's all fine, apart from the fact that it should be in a sealed container. It should be coming through in a lorry which they seal, so they know that it hasn't been tampered with between the border and here, and we didn't know that. So it was a little bit tricky. I mean, it's very good because the people here, Ivan and Milos, just rang up and sorted things out with the border people, and in the end they just let us through and said, yeah, it's fine, just bring it straight here and check it. So yeah, look, that's all the wire, all ready to be fitted. So can't wait to get it done now.
Yes, getting that sail is really exciting, and it makes the re-rig seem very much closer.
Yeah, not close enough. I can't wait to get that sail up and have a little peek. In fact, I might just put it up the old foil before we do the re-rig, just to have a look. But the re-rig is imminent. Jade is going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks, so there'll be a whole big special on rigging, a real in-depth special video that we'll do for that. And we're also going to do a video on the whole process that you go through with precision sails as well to get that sails, because it's worked really, really well for us. You design the sail online, you get all that support, get it delivered to us. So for cruisers, it's just fantastic, isn't it?
It is, and we will be measuring and getting the other two sails done as well. That's the staysail and the main. We'll measure them here, and then we'll get them delivered somewhere in the Med.
Yes, hopefully. Yeah, we just want to get them before we cross the Atlantic, really, because yeah, we want to get this boat just as good as it can be for the big ocean crossing. But there's a lot to do, and it's actually a difficult place to leave, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, as I said in the film, I really want to go back to the Tara River and do some rafting in the spring when there's not so many icicles around. It might be a little bit warmer. There's so many places you can go, and we just want to get up there and have a go.
That water looked cold though. And talking of
at
water,
the moment.
you've reminded me, our drinking water, in the last episode, we had a whole roundup of different products that we used on the boat, and we were sort of scoring them as a long-term thing. We missed out the ACUVA. A couple of people asked about it. It would have got a 10 out of 10 because it's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 100% good.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Well done.
And if you look in the description, put a link in there. I think that our discount code still works. So go in that, and you get some money off.
Yeah, good idea. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you to our patrons for supporting us. Thank you to our subscribers. And thank you. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks for watching.